Hello friends. So in the series of Mahadashas, today I have reached the most prominent, the most important planet called the Sun. Now Sun is a significator of soul. The Western astrology follows the Sun sign, because Sun always represents your soul. Vedic astrology follows the moon as well as the ascendant or the lagna, which is the rising sign when you were taking birth. Nonetheless, there are three lagnas that we should always consider while giving a very holistic approach to reading a chart. Always follow the lagna, the rising sign, the moon sign, and the sun sign as well. But then the problem occurs that in Western astrology, the Sun changes the sign. For example, on the 21st or 22nd of September, the Western astrology would say that it has entered into the sign of Libra. Whereas in Vedic astrology, you will find that the Sun is entering into Libra sign on the 14th, 15th or 16th of October. This is because of the difference of the 23.5 degree of the angle, which causes this, it's not a confusion, but it's a calculation. Anyways, let us understand during the Mahadasha or Antardasha of Surya or Sun, what are the effects that you would encounter during this period I just spoke about. Now looking at this, whatever I have written over here, Sun known as Surya, and we shall be discussing about the Mahadasha's effect. The Mahadasha of Sun runs for 6 years. Sun Lagna, see, Sun Lagna is, you have to consider the Sun Lagna also. Consider that the Sun is very intense, very powerful. Sun, whenever comes very close to a planet, or a planet comes very close to Sun, it gets combust. It burns the bhava it occupies. So whichever bhava Sun will occupy, it burns that bhava. Sun in the 10th and 11th house is considered to be very strong. And when I say strong, what it means you can see income coming from government or semi-government sources, or you may get a job in the government. Now, some people always consider that astrologer says that Sun, if it is debilitated, you will never get a government job. That's a myth. I'll tell you why. Because all those people who were born, say 15th or 16th of October, right up till the 14th, 15th, 16th of November, you mean to say those people can never get a job in government? That's a fallacy. To actually know that you will get a government job or no, I've written over here, always check your 5th house, because if your 4th house is the mass or people in large, the second bhav from that 4th house is the 5th house, which is the dhan bhav for that masses. That means it's their money. If you are getting their money, how will you get their money? You will get because they pay taxes and from the taxes you get your salary. So if your fifth bhav is very strong, government job is even more promising than looking at sun. Now, sun in the moksha houses, which is 4, 8 and 12, is not considered to be good, because in the fourth house there is a lack of domestic happiness, your frustration, your anger, and it burns that house. So that becomes a big problem. You may not, there would be a lot of issues in family. In the 12th house, which is known as a Marana or Maraka house, death house, and hence the problems from government agencies can be seen. Now when I say from the government, it could be taxation department or any department, income tax, whatever you say. There could be some problem if your sun is in the 12th house. A strong sun in the 11th house, which means it rules the fifth, if it rules first, because it rules the first, fifth, ninth house, very powerful connection. You have a very good social circle, which includes very famous personalities or celebrities. If the sun is in the third house, which is a good position for sun, honorable deeds can be done by you or by people who has got this combination. But if it is very ill placed, means it's not in a friendly house, then questionable, then your actions are questionable and of a low morals. This has to be kept in mind. Third house is good, but if sun is not in a good dignity, then there could be a problem. Sun, which represents soul, and Jupiter, which represents expansion, if they are together, where I have explained this combination over here also again, it's good for morality, it's good for, you have good moral standards, in life, or principles or values. If sun is along with Saturn, or it is with Rahu or Ketu, you have morals in life, but it is very questionable. Now I will not go too much into depth with this, but people would consider you to be morally very good, but then it's questionable. Sun with Rahu Ketu in a close conjunction, which means Rahu or Ketu is very close within the 8 degrees, you will have very bloated ego. You will have a delusion of very high standard. You will think to be, you will think too much of yourself. Okay, and you will remain in that delusion always. This combination could be good if it is. This combination could be good if it is in the 3rd house, 10th house and 11th house. If sun is in the 6th house, if afflicted, can give disease of spine. So if it is afflicted by Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, whatever it is, it can give you a disease of spine, backbone, lower back, everything to do with the spinal cord. And if it is aspected by Mars, so it is adding fuel to fire, injury from fire or from wild animals. If sun is in the 7th house, unless it is well placed or it is aspected, is a very bad placement. When I say aspected by a benefic planet, then what will happen? It's a bad placement because ego clashes with the spouse is there, and moreover, your spouse could be very hot-headed or very egoistic or very dominant. In the 11th point, if sun with the malefic planet is in a Upchaya house. What is a Upchaya house? Upchaya house is 3, 6, 10 and 11. Actually the 10 I have just mentioned over here. In this case, it's in reality it is 3, 6 and 11. This house is known that this house matures with age. So that improves with time and age is good. So Sun in these houses is considered to be good. Sun with Saturn, I also already mentioned over here once, but again I'm repeating it. If your Sun is with Saturn, you are of a very serious nature. You have heavy responsibilities, but not very bad combination. It's not a very bad combination unless the Saturn is within 8 degrees of Sun. Then it could be a little troublesome. Sun has a very soft corner for his Sun. Saturn is considered to be Sun's Sun. So Sun always have a very soft corner for Saturn. If Sun is with Jupiter, you have a very inflated ego, especially if it occurs in the Lagna. Especially this combination is in the ascendant or Lagna. It's very good for fame, politics, medicine, and you would want to teach or preach. If Sun is with Venus, a very good-hearted person, you could be a very good-hearted person, but it spoils the romantic relationship, especially in a male's chart. Because in a male chart, it's always Venus is considered to be the wife or the lover. In a female's chart, Guru or Jupiter is considered to be the male. So in a male's chart, Venus within the 3 degrees, very close to Sun, there could be sexual problems, a very compromised relationship. That means you will just compromise in the relationship. You may not have a very happy relationship. If Sun is with Mars, it is 2 hot planets, makes you extraordinary leaders, very energetic, very determined. If it is in Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, it is more so over, very active, very extrovert, unless this combination is in the 8th house or the 12th house. Then what will happen, where the abilities remain there. There is ability, you are active in everything, but your abilities are very dormant. That means you are not able to bring it out. Sun with Mercury is also known as Buddha Aditya Yoga, which occurs very frequently, because always remember Sun, Mercury and Venus is always here, fine, very close, always. They will at the most go into the following house, or they will remain in the back house. They do not go further than that. So it happens very frequently. It's good if the Mercury is outside, means away from Sun by 6 degrees. Analytical ability is seen. You have a very good communication as well. And wherever this Buddha Aditya Yoga is formed, in whichever house, that house also gets benefit out of it. Sun and Moon, this is very interesting, is always known as Amavasya. Because you know, Sun and Moon together is Amavasya Yoga. We have to treat, please understand this what I am saying. Treat this as an alternative Lagna. That means there is Sun and Moon together, 2 Lagnas have come together. So after looking at your Lagna, look at this combination if you were born on a Amavasya. And if this happens in Lagna, that means Sun, Moon is in Lagna, then it is a triple Lagna. Because Lagna, then Moon Lagna and Sun Lagna. It's a triple Lagna. Very dominant Lagna. This becomes a very dominant Lagna. Soul plus emotion or mind, very focused personality. You're very focused personality. It is very good for people who have got Libra or Scorpio as a Lagna, because then it rules the 9-10 or the 10-11 respectively. If Sun is a functional benefic, Sun is a functional benefic, we know that Sun is malefic, but it becomes functional benefic, it will give you good result. For whom? It will give good for people born in the Lagna Aries, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio and Sagittarius. For these Lagnas, Sun will always be considered as a functional benefic. It will be considered as functional malefic for sign Gemini, Pisces, and for Capricorn to an extent. It will always be very neutral for Cancer ascendant. Very neutral for Cancer ascendant. Even for that matter, even for Virgo as well. So friends, this was all about the placement of Sun, the Mahadasha of Sun. Antardasha of Sun is not very much important. I'll tell you why. Because Sun always is only for 6 years. So all the Antardashas are for a very short time. So it will not give you, it's because it is not a very long Antardashas, so it will not have more of the effect. But if you are running into the Sun's Dasha, we have to see whether all these combinations that I have given you, look at it, whether it works for you or it doesn't work for you. Fine. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do like my video, share my video, and click on the notification bell icon. The next following video, the same Hindi version following.